Hi everyone, so I am back again. I just want to say before I start this video that you've had my B12 injection, so I'm still waiting for that to kick in. So if I'm really tired or I seem a bit off, that's why, but I still wanted to film. I did have a few ideas and I did do a little poll on Instagram as to what you guys wanted to see. However, I thought this video was really important to put out there. So the ideas that you guys had and the poll that I did, I will get those videos out. But today I need to do this video because it's something that would have really helped me a few months ago. Bit of a frog in the throat. I do apologise there. So this video is going to be how to prepare for your autism diagnosis assessment. There's only one YouTuber that I know who has done this sort of video, and that's the Aspie world. I love his channel so much. It's been really informative, and I thought I would put my own sort of spin on the video, because being a woman on the spectrum, or prospective woman on the spectrum, because I haven't been formally diagnosed yet, but that is happening on the 9th of July. Just basically, there are different things that I would probably bring to the table in terms of preparation. So, how have I prepared? There were a few things that I've done. I was actually in the really beneficial situation of being a student last year. I am still a student. I'm a suspended student though, so I will be going back to university in November, hopefully with all of the support and help that I need to get through my studies. But yeah, so I was in that position where I had a disability advisor. I discussed that I think I may be autistic, and she recommended that I have a diagnostic assessment through the university. Now, this isn't a diagnosis, but they do give you a full report. And this report is something I am going to bring to my assessment. Now, one of the things they get you to do is something called an AQ test. I don't know why I keep doing this. But no, it's something called an AQ test, which is the autism quotient test. And it's a set of 50 questions, I believe. And you either say disagree, slightly agree, agree. And that gives you a score out of 50. And I think it's something from, I can't remember whether it's like 22 to 28 or 23 to 28, is slight traits of autism, but it doesn't guarantee a formal diagnosis. And then anything from 33 above is significant traits of autism, and you're likely to get diagnosed, basically. So I had this in November last year, and since then I used the website that my assessor used, and I have actually been keeping track of how my symptoms have progressed, and my symptoms have gotten worse, but that's because as I previously mentioned in another video, I started a new job in January, and all that change and getting used to things and training really threw me off, on top of a few other things that have happened. So my symptoms have gotten worse, but it's really important to basically bring any evidence you have. So I am bringing that report. I am also bringing a diary that I've been keeping. And I can't stress this enough. Keeping a diary is so important because it shows your thought patterns and what you struggle with. So things that I would sort of put in my diary would be if I had any sensory issues. So for example, there was one day at work where the bright lights of the office were really getting to us, and that was something that I mentioned. Anything to do with social situations, So there's been quite a few social situations that I've had to note down how I react and things like that. So that's a really important thing to bring as well. If you can, which I'm probably going to do this as well, I'm going to write down a list of reasons why I believe I'm autistic. This is just sort of a brief summary, and it really just gets to the crux of the matter, because a diary is good. Like I say, I'm keeping a diary anyway, but it doesn't actually explain why you believe you're autistic. So I'm probably going to do like that little list as well. Another thing that will help will be getting in touch with somebody who you grew up with and they've seen you develop. So for example, my mum is coming to the assessment with me, as well as my boyfriend. Both of those two people are coming, and they're for different reasons. So my mother is coming with me because she brought me up and she can see how I developed in my childhood and throughout my teenage years as well. So she'll be able to give some sort of contribution towards that. My boyfriend is going to come because I live with my boyfriend and he sees on a daily basis now exactly what I struggle with. So they can obviously put in their perspective, but I do have the opportunity to sort of, they may perceive something about me, but I can say, well, actually, you may think that I'm confident in this area, but really I'm not. And I just haven't told you, or I've been masking it, or something like that. How else would I prepare? So, going into the assessment, I would recommend bringing something that makes you feel comfortable. So, anyone who knows me particularly well knows that I always have a fidget toy with me, or a stim aid as they're called. So I will probably be bringing this little guy here. This is from Chewy Gem. It didn't actually come with this toggle cord. My friend Lee gifted me this toggle cord. He had a spare one. So he gave this to me because I did have another one of these, but I lost it. So I didn't want to lose this one, and Lee very kindly gave me this just so I can wear it as a necklace so I don't lose it. So this has been very handy. Anything to make you feel more comfortable, so I know I will probably be sitting fidgeting with this throughout just to make us feel a bit more comfortable. I would recommend keeping yourself hydrated too. So bring a bottle of water. I have actually spoken to one of the clinicians just to find out the format of the assessment, and she said that basically it's going to be in stages. So the first stage probably takes about an hour and a half, and it'll just be in the format of some questions, and then the second part will be longer, but that will involve yourself and your family members, whoever you bring with you, who has seen you develop. So that's the second part of the assessment. There is a third part. If they feel like they can't give a verdict straight away, they will obviously do some additional assessments and stuff. I have a feeling that these assessments are going to be the same ones that I did when I had my diagnostic assessment with Newcastle University. So this is another reason why I'm bringing that report, because that report is quite comprehensive. Even though my symptoms have got worse, they've shown, they've done my AQ test, they've shown what symptoms I have, her opinion as somebody who is a qualified educational psychologist, and things like that. So that's going to be really helpful. Another thing that I would do to prepare would probably be to have a look to see whether you've got any old school reports and things. That was something the clinician said, if you can bring any school reports or anything in from when you were a child, because that's part of the diagnostic criteria, then do bring that in, because it can help them see. So like, it might say something like for me, it could be, oh, Jennifer's often quiet and we would like her to participate more. So, which did happen a lot. I was quite quiet at school. It totally depended on the subject as well. So I was normally quite quiet in lessons, but if it was a history lesson, I would generally have my hand up like, me, I know. And that was something that a lot of people picked up on. Like, if I had an interest in something, then I would be sort of doing really well and getting sort of A's and B's and things. But if I didn't understand it, so for example, maths is not my strong point. I hate maths. I can't even explain how much I hate maths. My brain just doesn't compute. Doesn't compute with maths. So I had to get extra tuition for maths when I was younger, and that's something that I am also going to mention. My mum used to set me additional tasks when I was younger because I wasn't understanding maths, and then as soon as I started doing that extra homework and spending a bit more time on it so my brain could process it, then I was doing really well. So there were a few things I'm going to mention in that assessment, but I think one of my biggest tips is just go in there and just be honest. Be honest, be yourself, because that's what I'm going to do. I can't afford to not be myself, because I've been masking for nearly 26 years of my life. I'll be 26 when my assessment happens. It'll have just been my birthday. My birthday's on the 1st of July, so I'll be 26. So for 26 years of my life, I've been masking. I basically feel a bit like an alien, just coming down to earth and watching all these humans to try and get a sense of how to interact and a sense of how to behave and act like a normal person. So it's definitely something that I'm needing in my life right now to get the support. So that's how I would prepare. That is how I have prepared. If you have any more questions or anything related to the diagnostic assessment or anything like that, please let me know down in the comments or send me a message. I'm quite friendly, so I will speak back. So I think we're going to leave that there for today. I will get on to making some different videos going forward. And I think after my assessment, because my assessment is actually on a Tuesday, so what I may do, it's in a few weeks' time. I think it's like 6 weeks' time. That's scary. It's 6 weeks' time. So what I may do when I get home, so that there's probably not going to be a video on that Tuesday, but I will have a video ready to upload on Wednesday. And I think what I'll do is I'll film what exactly happened and what my verdict is and my thoughts and my feelings and stuff. So yes, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it isn't exactly what you were expecting, but I want to help people out there, and if I can do anything, I want to help them. So that's the reason why I filmed today, and I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please share, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. I've just started out. I've only been doing YouTube for about 5 weeks now, and I've been loving it, and it's something that means the world to me. So if you could do that, that would be fantastic. If you like what I do, then please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next week. Bye guys.